Do you remember such a cult game series as S.T.A.L.K.E.R? The games that have a special and unique feeling come from Eastern Europe. The updated versions of the classic parts of S.T.A.L.K.E.R, released on May 20th, were met with a wave of criticism. Players claimed that the Russian language was cut from the game, that the game had been censored in a questionable way, and that it was poorly optimized. They also reported a lot of bugs and problems with the textures and unstable FPS. But on the positive side, they did add gamepad support. So thank you, this is what we were all waiting for. Fans of the game series are actively destroying game rankings, and it's clear why. Shadow of Chernobyl currently has 35% positive reviews, Clear Sky has 37 and Call of Pripyat only has 33, which peaked online were almost 4K for Shadow of Chernobyl, 702 for Clear Sky and 878 for Call of Pripyat. The most interesting thing is that they have removed the original games from the search. That means that if you try to find the original part of the series, you won't find it. But if you have a direct link, you'll be able to access it. It's likely that the developers hid them from the search on purpose to get people to be more active in buying their rare release. The location of your Steam account doesn't impact the search engine's results. It doesn't matter if your account is based in Ukraine, Russia, or elsewhere, you won't be able to get original games. The best part is that if you already bought the game, you can go to the store page and check the price or even donate it, but you won't be able to find it by searching. Each game costs $20 individually. If you have already purchased the original version on Steam, you will get the enhanced version for free. If you buy the remastered versions, you will also receive the original shooters, in case you don't already have them. Not surprisingly, GSC has raised the prices of the old versions so that players won't save money on buying the old version and get the improved one for free. It's frustrating that they had a great opportunity to give a gift to all fans of the original games, but after not being very successful with their last release, Heart of Chernobyl, GSC literally shit in their radioactive pants by making one of the laziest remasters ever. By the way, Heart of Chernobyl was also criticized for terrible optimization, low FPS and frequent crashes. However, as you can see, the game's developers do not learn from these mistakes. They continue to release games just to make money off the series name, and if they keep doing this, they're only hurting their reputation more and more. Even here, I'm certain that there will be people who will defend JC and justify any of their failures. Even the original trilogy had a lot of problems. They had many bugs, but for a long time the community made updates and modifications to make the games more stable. However, with the new release, players will need to update old modes to the new versions. This can obviously take a long time. The main complaint about remasters is that the picture is blurry. I decided to test the new remasters myself and recorded a short comparison between the original Shadow of Chernobyl and its enhanced version. To make it easier to understand, I turned off all anti-aliasing in the updated version. The picture didn't change by even a pixel and I still felt like there was a veil in front of my eyes. Even with anti-aliasing off, the image is still blurry. I think the enhanced version is actually worse than the original, which is a bit of a paradox. The remaster looks like it was made using not the best existing modes for the game, and it still doesn't hit 30 FPS at 4K resolution for consoles. I also noticed how different the field of view was into games. The shadows cast from the clouds looked more dynamic, and the overall color palette was different. The improved version seems to have a darker and more contrasty color palette with deeper black tones. This is just my own observation, but it caught my eye right away. Actually, it's not worth waiting for something special after the release of Heart of Chernobyl. It was clear that the game was made by a different team, not the same team that was working on the original parts of the series, and it's missing the same vibe from the earlier games. By the way, GSC says they added some new dialogues in few places. They didn't say where they prescribed them or who they prescribed them for. As we expected, the developers published a message on the official Discord account. In the message, they didn't discuss the bugs in the game and complained that their rating on Steam collapsed. They're saying the bad rating in the game is because of review bombing from the Russians. The developers definitely succeeded in changing the subject. They took a discussion about a lazy and low-quality product with questionable artistic decisions and turned it into a false debate about patriotism and politics. This is not the point of the whole thing. The point is that GSC is cheating in the remaster when they are making Enhanced Edition, and these hackworks have nothing to do with politics. They did a terrible job, and now they're trying to sell it, that's all. I also think it's pretty ridiculous to take out the USSR out of a game about the post-Soviet space, especially when it's such a big part of the game. It creates a unique atmosphere, reminds people of where the events took place, and keeps in mind that USSR is responsible for the original catastrophe. It's weird to want to erase something from the game and act like it didn't happen. In these moments, it's pretty clear what the company's main priorities are and their overall approach to the game. They seem to be more focused on making something that meets GSC's standards, even if it doesn't necessarily align with what the fans of the series want. So, instead of working hard to create a really good remaster for audience, you're wasting your energy on cutting out all the Soviet symbols. They have a lot of problems and focus on some shit. Instead of this, they should focus on their strengths and make a well-optimized remake, which is to create shaders that don't have any bugs in a game that is 15 years old. Here are a couple more words about the voiceover. Even though the Russian voiceover was cut, modders literally the next day added a modification in the workshop to restore it. There's a chance that the mod will receive so many complaints that it will be deleted, but the fans are super fast. Here's another detail. The developers were in such a hurry with the parody that they forgot to cut out the Russian voice actors' names from the credits. I'm waiting for a patch. And then it's not right. The actors are here, but the voiceover isn't. Also released mods for the return of the USSR symbols, new reticles, the return of the original textures instead of improved near set, font replacement, and, of course, a mod to increase the carrying weight to 120 kilograms. Mods added a one-click subscribe option on Steam. Personally, I didn't find the enhanced version of the trilogy to be up to par, and I wouldn't suggest spending your money on them. If you've got the original, it's better to play that instead of the recent version that was born with efforts of GSC. Thanks for watching, and хорошей охоты, Stalker!